All right, let's talk about the one thing that gets in the way of getting pretty much anything done: distraction. We're going to break down a really simple but honestly incredibly powerful system that can help you get your focus back, starting like right now.
Does this sound familiar? You sit down, you're ready to go, you're going to be super productive. And then an email pops up, your phone buzzes. You think, I'll just check this one thing. And poof, before you know it, hours are gone, and that big important task, it's still just sitting there, staring at you. It is the worst feeling.
But what if the fix wasn't about trying to find some superhuman willpower or just working longer and longer hours? What if it was just about changing how you work? Well, the good news is there's a method for that, and it is almost shockingly simple.
And that solution is called the Pomodoro Technique. Now, this isn't some new fad. It was actually developed way back in the late 1980s by a university student named Francesco Cirillo, and it stuck around for one simple reason: it works.
So what is it, exactly? Well, at its heart, the Pomodoro Technique is a system that gets you to work with time, instead of feeling like you're constantly fighting against it. The whole idea is to break your work down into these short, intense sprints, with breaks built right in.
And that brings us to our first magic number: 25, as in 25 minutes. This is how long a single, completely uninterrupted work session lasts. And each one of these 25-minute blocks is called a Pomodoro, which, fun fact, is Italian for tomato, because Cirillo used a tomato-shaped kitchen timer to track his work.
Okay, so after that 25 minutes of intense focus, you get a little reward. And that brings us to our second magic number: 5. Just 5 minutes. This is your short break after every single Pomodoro. And listen, this isn't optional. It's a super important part of the process that lets your brain kind of reset and catch its breath.
So these two little blocks of time, the 25 and the 5, they're the building blocks of this simple, repeatable cycle. So how do we put them all together? Well, it all breaks down into 5 really easy-to-follow steps.
All right, here's the whole playbook. Step 1, you pick one and only one task to work on. Step 2, you set that timer for 25 minutes. Step 3, and this is the big one, you work with absolutely full concentration until that timer goes off. Step 4, you take that well-earned 5-minute break. And finally, step 5, you just do it all over again. After you've done 4 of these cycles, you get a longer break, somewhere around 15 to 30 minutes.
Now, there is one non-negotiable golden rule to this whole thing. During that 25-minute Pomodoro, you have to commit to 0 distractions. I mean it. Your phone is on silent and out of sight. All those social media tabs are closed. This is your protected, sacred time for deep work.
Okay, so this all sounds really straightforward, right? But why is it so effective? Why is breaking our work up into these little chunks so much more powerful than just, trying to grind it out for hours and hours? Turns out there's some pretty cool psychology going on here.
And that brings us to the really amazing benefits of this technique, because this is about so much more than just checking things off a to-do list. It's really about changing your entire relationship with work and how you manage your mental energy.
So what do you actually get out of this? First, you are literally training your brain to focus. Each Pomodoro is like a rep at the gym for your attention muscle. Second, it just kills procrastination. I mean, anyone can convince themselves to do something for just 25 minutes, right? It also prevents that feeling of burnout because rest is mandatory, not something you do if you have time. And finally, it gives you this incredible sense of control over your day, which is honestly super motivating.
Okay, theory is great, but what does this actually look like on, say, a random morning? Let's take a look at how you could stack a few of these cycles together in a real schedule.
You can really see the rhythm here, can't you? Notice how you can group similar tasks together, like you dedicate 2 whole Pomodoros to studying history. Then, after those sprints and breaks, you can switch to a totally different task, like writing up your notes. And then, once you finish that full set of 4, you take that longer 20-minute break to really, truly recharge. This is exactly how you can do high-quality work for hours without getting totally fried.
So you might be wondering if this is a good fit for the kind of work you do. And the answer is that this thing is incredibly versatile. Yeah, it's a massive favorite for students, especially around exam time, but it's just as powerful for office workers trying to get through reports, and it's an absolute game changer for anybody doing creative stuff, like writing or editing.
Now, look, if the idea of 25 minutes of pure, uninterrupted focus sounds kind of intense at first, don't worry about it. The advice here is super simple. Just make it shorter. Start with 15 minutes if you have to. The goal is just to build the habit and get a win, not to be perfect on day 1.
You can always build up the time as that focus muscle of yours gets stronger.
So we've gone through the what, the why, and the how. But honestly, the real magic doesn't happen from listening to me talk about it. It happens when you stop planning and you just start doing. Which brings me to one last, really simple challenge for you.
I'm going to leave you with this one question. Just forget about your whole to-do list for a second. What is the single most important thing you could make some progress on right now in just one 25-minute Pomodoro? Set a timer and go give it a try.